Hello, my name is Jenna. I'm really tired of repeating the introduction already, but I hopped on over here from TikTok. I have been sharing my spiritual awakening and healing journey, plus all the experiences that I've had regarding dream interpretation, interpreting messages from spirit, channeling messages from spirit, channeling messages for people, seeing the future, predicting the future, all the way into time travel, emerging, reversing timelines, quantum physics. Huge. If you're here for the twin flame journey, it's quantum physics. If you're here for time travel, it's quantum physics. If you're here for enlightenment, it's quantum physics. It's all quantum physics. Because we are multidimensional beings living in multidimensional universes all at the same time. And quantum physics is the only thing that can explain that. Quantum entanglement. Good rabbit hole to go into. I started sharing my journals, and I am being told to read them. Now, it started on WordPress, and then I switched over to Facebook. Started a business page, fan page, blog, whatever. So I'm kind of bouncing between the two as I'm reading these right now because it's not in chronological order on Facebook. So, yeah. And I stopped posting on WordPress at one point. Today, right now, I am reading the karmic cycles, life cycles, and how to break them, which I posted on WordPress December 1, 2019. WordPress, the name is Be the Crown, all one word, which I might go ahead and change to Chaotic Crown Channeling as well, because everything else has that Chaotic Crown Channeling name now. TikTok, Clapper, YouTube, Facebook. That's where you'll find me, Chaotic Crown Channeling. So, karmic cycles, life cycles. There we go. Okay. I'm pretty active on Facebook, or as I call it, Face Crack. There are pages about spirituality or empaths that I have been invited to join. Sometimes when I see a comment or post that resonates, I give my insight. Recently, someone had asked about her cycles. She said she is always finding herself in the same or similar situations and attracting the same people or events, and she is tired of it. She asked how to break the cycle. Well, thanks to my bleeding out experience and the family lessons I learned afterwards, I learned what brings on cycles and how to break them, so I shared what my opinion is on the matter. I will post about the surgery and what happened later. No worries, I will give all the gory details. Which I will post a trigger warning whenever it comes time to reading that one. November 24, 2019, a comment. Cycles are lessons to be learned. Until you recognize the lesson and make the changes to show you learned, the cycle will repeat itself. I just recently figured this out myself, and I have been helping those around me understand too. You know what the cycle is. Write down every time it happened and what each cycle had in common and how you reacted to the circumstances. Then think about what lessons there could be and if there is anything you should forgive others and yourself for. It's a process, a hard one, but once you get to a certain point, you'll be unstoppable. She replied to my comment and thanked me for my insight and stated that she didn't think of it that way before, to which I responded. Had to drink some water. Paused that at 3:38. If anybody's looking into numbers. To which I responded, "You're welcome. Once you get through all the emotional aspects of healing, which you shouldn't suppress because it's old trauma coming up, embrace whatever emotions come whenever they come. It's like a pregnancy-level hormonal roller coaster. You will see patterns in life and have a crazy understanding for things that come out of the blue. Every situation has a lesson in it. When you start viewing life as a series of lessons, you will see the world differently and you will grow so much you won't recognize your old self. Other people's energy won't matter anymore because the more in touch you are with your higher self, the more lower vibrations will back off. And you should let them. When your frequency shifts, so does the energy around you. That is what the law of attraction is all about. Being an empath does bring narcissists because of our light. Side note, I no longer associate with the word narcissist. It is merely a label for comprehension. I'll get to what narcissism really is later on as well. Being an empath does bring narcissists because of our light, but you won't bother giving them the time of day once you have self-love in place. You're on a road to remember who you are on a soul level. I feel it. Prepare to be amazed. Self-love is hard. Probably one of the hardest things you will ever accomplish because in order to really love yourself, you have to forgive yourself. This means digging deeper than ever and taking full responsibility for the choices we made, and it hurts so much. I had dreams that never made sense to me as a child that I had written down. This blog will have those too. Recently, my dreams all started to make sense. They were a message from my higher self and ultimately my way to self-forgiveness. Once that happened, I fell in love with the world, my life, and myself. Hopefully you will experience these feelings too. That is why I am doing this. I don't want anyone to feel what I have felt in the past, but I know that those really dark days are needed to reach happiness. So let it happen, feel the pain and the anger and the helplessness, and know you are not alone. Many of us have been there already, and we are here to help you through it. So feel everything, don't give up, and know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are magical. So, karmic cycle, life cycle, it's something that's going to keep repeating itself. It's going to be like the same story, different person, right? So what happens is, say, toxic relationship, right? Somebody comes in, toxic traits. They don't respect your boundaries because you're not setting them. They don't treat you with respect because you're letting them not treat you with respect, right? Don't come to me with a victim standpoint. You will not like anything I have to say because you are never a victim, ever, when it comes to cycles, right? Yes, there are things that happen that are completely out of our control, right? But if it's a repeating cycle, it's something that we have to break out of, especially as an adult. When we're children, whole other story, right? But we have to break out of those cycles once we come to the realization there's a cycle. There's a cycle. So you have these repeating toxic people coming into your life, not acknowledging your worth because you don't acknowledge your worth, right? Crossing the boundaries because you're not setting the boundaries. And the way to break out of that cycle is, one, realize, okay, I'm not setting a boundary. I'm letting this person disrespect me. I'm letting this person use me. I'm letting this person steal from me. I'm letting this person lie to me and get away with it, right? Comes in. Now I'm speaking from personal experience, okay? I've been there. We do this shit, right? It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean we're fucked up or dumb. It just means that we've been conditioned and we don't know any better until we do, right? So you notice this pattern of people treating you a certain way, and then we come to the realization that, well, I'm letting them treat me this way, right? I could simply just say no, walk away, and not let them be in my life. But instead, we want to help everybody, right? Because we feel their feelings. We feel that they have this potential. We see them as their higher self, but we forget they are not their higher self yet because they still have trauma and conditioning to work through themselves, right? And it is not up to us to heal the people. It is up to the people to choose to heal, and then when they are ready, they will come to us, and then we can help them, right? And when we document our journey, there's not much work we have to do because we can simply say, read my blog, watch my videos. If you have specific questions, ask me specific questions. If you need help doing some shadow work, we can teach you how to do some shadow work, and then you can go and teach someone else. Each one teach one, right? So these cycles keep coming through, and then you recognize, oh shit, I'm fucking up. I'm letting these people treat me like shit. What do I need to learn? Set a healthy boundary. Okay, cool. Then you got to go within yourself. Am I setting a healthy boundary or a toxic wall when I'm pushing these people away? Because there's a difference. I also have posts about that. I will read what that is too. All right, so then you're doing shadow work already. You're already doing the shadow work, right? You're going within yourself, figuring shit out. Okay, what can I do to set a boundary? Now, this is where it gets important, right? This is where you're going to have to take action to make the change to break the cycle, right? How do I set a boundary? I say no. What do I do if they go against my boundary? I cut them off. It's not easy. No, definitely not easy, especially if it's somebody you've known for a while, right? But once you start to do that and you recognize people coming in, it'll be a lot easier to cut them off before you actually have an attachment because you'll recognize that cycle and be like, oh, nope, we ain't doing that no more, right? So in the beginning, it's really hard because these cycles have been with people that you're probably really attached to. Family, lovers, spouses, right? Children even. So, am I setting boundaries? No. Let me set a boundary. Are they respecting the boundary? No. Set another boundary. Gonna cut them off. And stick to that boundary, right? And then eventually let them come back in again. State your boundaries. Are they overstepping the boundaries? Cut them off. Cut them off. And then if they come back, you can do it again, or you can set the ultimate boundary and say no because you keep disrespecting my boundaries, right? Eventually the cycle will come through less and less, and then it's like maybe once a year or every couple of months some random thing will pop up and you'll recognize the cycle and be like, yeah, fuck that, and you're just gonna walk away, and it's like, that's it, right? That's how you do it. Now, every time you break out of a cycle, a life or karmic cycle, through learning and applying the lesson, and I cannot state how important this is because a lot of people, they be like, yeah, I know it's about boundaries, I know it's about acceptance, I know it's about self-love, I know it's about compassion, I know it's about turning the other cheek, walking away, right? But they still have the same cycle over and over and over again. Why? Because they didn't apply the lesson. They didn't set the boundaries. They didn't stick to those boundaries, right? You have to see the lesson, apply the lesson, and then you break out of the cycle and you go into an upward spiral, right? Have you ever seen the image where it's got the spirals from the bottom up? And it's got like anger, resentment, fear, all that on the bottom. And then it goes into boredom. It's like a neutral space. It's your 0 point kind of, right? And then you go all the way up into bliss, peace, joy, love, right? Unconditional love. That's what you're doing. Every time you recognize, apply a lesson, you're going to spiral upward. Because you're healing something within yourself through acknowledging your worth and setting your boundaries. And doing what you need to do to come into a place where you can take time to take care of yourself and become the best version of yourself. Yep, that's it. Feel free to ask questions. I don't really check messages in here, so if you want to send a private message, I'll try to start remembering, because I don't know. I don't do YouTube much really. But yeah, you can leave a comment or you can hit me up on TikTok. That's where I spend most of my time, on TikTok. Chaotic Crown channeling, just like here with the underscores and everything. Alright, that's it. Have a good one. I'm going to probably read another one and get it up here and be done for the day. Love you.